Most diesel drivers think they know their truck inside out. But here's the truth. There are 20 secrets buried deep in your systems that dealers never mention. Ignoring them is as expensive as a $2,000 chaos. The final one is a silent glitch that can wipe out your engine, even while your dash says, all clear. 20. DF crystallizer. Reset. Dealers clean your DEF tank, but skip the software reset. Here's where it gets ugly. Crystallized fluid tricks sensors into thinking your system's still contaminated. The ECM won't clear the fault, so your truck drops into limp mode even though everything's clean. We've seen $2,000 emission jobs for trucks that just needed one reset. The fix? Run the DEF sensor recalibration after every flush. Don't just trust the refill. You fixed the fluid, but now your ECM's memory is corrupt, and it's rewriting your throttle without you knowing. 19th ECM scan shot. Rate reset. Your diesel learns how you drive, but sometimes it learns wrong. Here's where it gets ugly. Corrupt logs wreck throttle, fuel trims, and shift timing. Most shops ignore it. Dealers reflash everything, but there's a hidden reset that wipes just memory, not your tune. We've seen dead pedals come back to life in 5 minutes. Run the ECM scan shot rate reset every 30K or after major work. Throttle's back, but your brakes? Still working off false numbers, and the next mistake burns your ABS module to death. 18. Brake rotor pad. Relearn code. You swap pads and rotors. Everything's new, yet braking feels mushy. Here's the bit that ruins ABS modules fast. Modern ABS systems track rotor thickness and pad life to balance brake pressure. Skip the relearn and it overcompensates. That overwork fries the ABS pump, triggers early lockups, and costs $1,200 plus to fix. Ask your shop to run the pad life relearn or rotor calibration after every brake job. You stopped a brake disaster, but now your emission system has a secret kill switch most drivers never notice. Hey, 17. Hidden Regan cancel button. Mid-trip Regan kicks in at the worst time? You cancel it, right? Here's the kicker. Most trucks actually let you stop Regan, but dealers never tell you where the override is. Some use cruise buttons, others need sequence taps. Miss it and raw fuel dumps into your DPF during short cycles, ruining your filter and cooking sensors. Learn your truck's Regen cancel trick before your DPF fills with unburnt fuel. That button just saved your filter. Now do you know there's a hidden idle mode that can save your engine on every cold start? 16. High idle enable mode. Cold start, 600 RPM. Sounds normal, but it's killing your truck. Here's the crazy part. Most diesels have a hidden high idle mode that boosts to over 1,000 RPM. That builds oil pressure, heats coolant, and charges the battery fast. But dealers rarely activate it. Cold idling floods cylinders, stalls regions, and washes injectors. We've seen turbo soot stack up from this alone. Use your cruise switch or enable it through the BCM. Your idle's protected now, but shut off wrong after a hard drive, and your turbo's next on the chopping block. 15th, turbo shaft. Pre-oil soak command. Your turbo doesn't stop spinning when your engine shuts off. Here's the bit nobody shows you. Certain trucks can trigger a pre-oil soak at shutdown. It forces fresh oil through the shaft after key-off, protecting bearings from baking dry. But unless you idle 90 seconds or use a scan tool to trigger it, your turbo carbon coats and dies early. We've seen 2,800 failures from hot shutdowns. Use your scan tool or idle post-drive to trigger the soak. Turbo save. But if you've ever driven through deep water, the next secret could stop a $4,000 transmission failure. 14th, clutch pack bake cycle for wet transmission. Water in your transmission doesn't break it right away. It hides and waits. Here's where it gets ugly. That moisture sits in the clutch packs. Slowly it strips friction and cooks converters. Dealers won't tell you, but some trucks have a bake cycle. It applies low torque and heat to dry internals after water events. Skip it, and you'll feel slip within 5K. Run this cycle after water crossings, flood events, or any time trans fluid looks hazy. You just bought your converter another 100K, but your coolant? It's still boiling even after shutdown, and this next trick clears it fast. 13. Hidden fan off. Cycle burn in BCM. You shut it off at 98 degrees. Heat stays trapped under the hood. Here's the bit every tech skips. Some trucks trigger a fan burn after shutdown to purge charge air heat. But it's buried in the BCM, and disabled by default. Without it, coolant boils, gaskets warp, sensors fry. We've seen 2,500 head jobs from heat soak alone. Activate fan-off cycle override in your BCM or scan menu. Your temps are stable now, but your airflow's still choking, and the next intake mistake destroys boost before you even touch the throttle. 12. Fuel pressure. Relearn after injector change. You swapped injectors, but your truck still runs rough. Here's the bit that ruins smooth idle. The ECM is still running old pressure logic. Most diesels need a fuel pressure relearn after injector replacement or the rail will overcompensate. That means hard starts, dead throttle, even region skips. We've seen new injectors trashed in under 10K. Use a scan tool to run the pressure relearn sequence post-swap. Now your fuel system's stable, but if you live in cold weather, your truck's next start could still flood itself. 11th, ambient temperature override for cold start logic. Your glow plugs aren't kicking in, and it's freezing out. Here's the kicker. Your truck's cold start logic is based on ambient temp sensors. If the sensor's off by a few degrees, glow time shortens. That leads to white smoke, raw fuel flooding, and injector wash. On some diesels, you can override or calibrate that logic using a scan tool. Check your ambient sensor for accuracy and adjust glow logic if needed. Your starts are cleaner now, but glow plugs alone won't cut it unless you trigger this next secret cycle. 10th, glow plug, soak cycle, trigger, cold morning, crank, puff of white smoke. Here's where it gets expensive. You can force multiple glow plug cycles before starting. It's called soak cycling. Some trucks let you double turn the key. Others need a scan command. Most techs use it, but never teach it. Skip it, and you'll flood the chamber, wash injectors, and kill glow plugs early. Learn your truck's method and do it every cold start. Learning something most shops won't tell you? Hit subscribe and let's jump into number 9. 9. DPF unlearn ratio reset. You replace the filter, but region still fails. Here's the detail that fools everyone. Your ECM still thinks the filter's clogged. Unless you run the unlearn ratio reset, it tracks old soot levels. That means bad region cycles, limp mode, and shutdown. Ever seen $3,000 systems fail on brand new parts just because the reset was skipped? We have. Run the DPF unlearn every time you replace the filter. Now the system's clean, but airflow's next, and a boost leak could wipe out your turbo without warning. 8. Boost leak self-test. Trigger laggy boost after a mod or cleaning? Here's the kicker. Your ECM can trigger a pressurized self-test to sniff out leaks, but most shops skip it unless there's a check engine light. So you drive with a loose clamp or cracked boot, roasting turbos and wasting fuel. We've seen mileage drop 20% because of one ignored leak. Force a boost leak self-test after every install or service. Airflow's sealed now, but towing next week, your transmission might not be ready for the load. 7. Transmission shift logic reset for better towing. Tuned your truck? Changed tires? Towing heavier now? Get ready for the twist, because your transmission still thinks it's stock. Shift patterns adapt over time, but not always after big changes. That means wrong gear holds, slipping, and overheating under load. Most trucks let you reset shift logic and retrain it based on new power curves. Run the reset after any big change, especially tuning or tire upgrades. Shifting's sharp now, but your engine's air control system may still be misaligned from the last cleaning. 6th, intake valve idle match. After EGR cleaning, you clean the EGR and intake, but throttle still feels off. Here's why that isn't just ugly, but deadly. Your intake valves and turbo vanes are out of sync. It's called idle intake valve match, and without it, airflow goes bad fast. You'll get low boost, failed regions, sluggish throttle, and rough idle. Shops forget it constantly. We've seen trucks lose 3 miles per gallon and misfire from this. Run the valve match reset after any airflow or carbon cleaning job. Your airflow's fixed, but your battery system's sitting on a hidden failure that can kill your whole ECU. 5th, battery load test mode in ECU. Your truck's been slow to crank or throwing random codes. You won't see this one coming? Some ECUs can run a battery load test internally. It detects voltage drops under simulated strain without pulling the battery. Most techs skip it unless the truck dies. But ignoring battery stress leads to starter wear, sensor faults, and powertrain limp conditions. One missed battery load issue once cost a fleet over $15,000. Run the ECU's load test mode before winter or long storage. Power's holding steady, but your diesel's biggest lie? It's what your DEF system isn't telling you. 4. Altitude relearn. Setting for long trips. You drive across elevation zones thinking your truck auto-adjusts. Here's the bit that ruins engines fast. Altitude changes fuel-air mix, turbo behavior, and EGR timing. But many ECMs lock barometric data and never relearn unless forced. That means poor combustion, rough idle, and soot buildup. We've seen full filters and tanked mileage after one mountain trip. Before any big climb, trigger an altitude relearn with a scan tool or baro refresh. Air's balanced now, but your turbo's still acting on old habits, and they're about to choke it under pressure. 3. Turbo vane position. Memory flush. Swap the turbo or cleaned carbon out. Still feels off? Here's the kicker. VGT systems learn vane position over time, but once carbon fouled, they keep bad data. The ECM hunts RPM, misfires boost, and spools slow, even with a clean turbo. That memory doesn't reset on its own. Flush the turbo vane memory using a scan tool that supports VGT calibration. That forces the ECM to relearn fresh positions. Boost response is crisp again, but your fuel system's next, and the numbers it's reporting might be completely wrong. 2. Water separator. Lifetime tracker. Reset, you drained it, swapped the filter. Still throwing warnings? This is what nobody tells you. The ECM tracks separator life by time and usage, not condition. Even with a fresh system, it flags false alerts. That means ghost codes, unnecessary limp mode, or expensive misdiagnosis. Fleets burn thousands swapping filters that don't need replacing. After servicing, run the lifetime tracker reset through your scan tool. Warning's gone. But the last reset controls fuel trim, turbo health, and combustion itself, and if you skip it, your diesel will learn to fail. 1. Fuel trim adaptation wipe. Your truck learns from fuel, altitude, and driving habits. Ready for the twist? Bad fuel, worn sensors, clogged filters, all corrupt those fuel trims. Even after fixing things, the ECM still injects like it's dirty. That means smoky combustion, high soot, and failed regen. We've seen clean engines spike EGTs and blow turbos just from old fuel maps. Use a scan tool to wipe trim data every 30 to 50,000 miles or after major fuel work. Because if you don't reset this, your engine rewrites itself into a $10,000 failure. If you think these dealer secrets were wild, the next video shows the myths that waste your fuel, wreck your turbo, and trash your warranty faster than you think.